Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wholistic Health Alliance's March Community Talk. We will be listening to our practitioner member, Mary Branson, and she has plenty of wonderful information to share with all of us today. Before I hand over the platform to Mary, I just want to quickly take a couple minutes to introduce the organization, Wholistic Health Alliance. So Wholistic Health Alliance is hosting the community talk, and we have monthly talks just to educate, inform, empower our community members about holistic, simple, common sense resources that they can integrate in their lives, utilize in their lives for their well-being, overall well-being, not just physical well-being. This is our goal. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit that is national in its charter. We are located in Massachusetts. Personally, myself as the founder president, and today our practitioners are also joining from Massachusetts. Although we have members as well as attendees from across the US mostly, but today we have slightly fewer people, which is common. It's warming up now. People are vacationing, etc. So this platform has been founded to create a unified place for holistic practitioners to come together, to connect with each other, to support each other, to inspire each other, to collaborate, etc. So do check out our website, www.holistichealthalliance.org. This is the website, and the holistic word has a W in it. So please remember to type W when you look for our URL, and I'm going to quickly share the join flyer. So this is, this is just a quick synopsis of who can join and what our platform offers. We also feature a practitioner every month just to put a extra spotlight on them, just to give them a little more visibility and outreach. So plenty of things for you to check out on our website. Again, the website is www.holistichealthalliance.org, as you can see on the top and bottom. We are also on social media. Do find us, follow us, like us. And very quickly, we also have a youth wing. So if you have a youth in your home, do consider checking out our youth brigade projects as well. The nonprofit also provides volunteering hours to the youth, and we are also an approved organization for presidential awards, service awards. So do check out our youth brigade initiative as well. And with that quick intro to the platform, I would like to invite Mary Branson to introduce herself and then to share her wonderful information with all of us. Welcome, Mary.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Mary Branson. I am a holistic health coach and a Juice Plus affiliate. And I'm going to, after I give some health tips, share my story as to what led me to live a more holistic lifestyle. Lots of factors went into that decision, and it's the best decision I ever made. It really helped improve my health and well-being. As you had mentioned, it's not just physical, it's mental, emotional, spiritual, lots of things go into good health. So hopefully I will share some good tips and help you to learn from my mistakes and learn what I found to help me lead a really healthy, holistic life. Okay, so I will share my screen and get started. Okay, let's see. Okay, so okay. So this is what I want to talk about. So I really want to talk about what the core pillars of health are because it's multifaceted. It's not just one, and they really need to work in tandem with each other in order to be completely healthy. I want to hopefully share with you the benefits of good nutrition and understanding the link between nutrition and disease, um, helping you realize the importance of fruits and vegetables and how you can easily get them into your diet. And I really feel like good nutrition should be a family affair. I really feel like you should get the whole family involved and especially your kids so they can shape future generations to lead a more holistic life. A lot of the things I'll be sharing with you, I wish I knew as a child, but I guess it's never too late to start being healthy. So the reason I got interested in health was I was learning a lot of sad health statistics. We are, as a society, very unhealthy, and a lot of these stats are old, so it could be even worse than what I'm sharing. But 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease, 1 in 2 women, and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050, and 1 in 5 children are obese. And these are really sad statistics. So unless we do things to change it, these will happen. And the sad thing is, our children are more harmed by poor diet than they are by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. So that's really very alarming, I feel. Um, so there are 2 main reasons why our health is so poor. Our food quality is decreasing. More than 50% of what most Americans eat is processed. It has preservatives, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, growth hormones, foods genetically modified. It has a lot less nutrition. There's pesticides, trans fats, artificial colors. All of this does a number on our health. And a sad fact is broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of the key nutrition before you even buy it because it's picked way too early before it's had a chance to ripen, and then it's transported thousands of miles. So most plants get their nutrition in the very last few days of growing. So it's really important to note that our food quality is really going downhill. Also, our environmental toxins are increasing, and some things we have no control over, like pollution, water contaminants, pesticides. Some things we do have control over. So there are toxins in everything around us, prescriptions, drugs, skincare, hair care, plastics, and radiation from our cell phones and things like that. So we are progressing as a society in some ways, but it's really doing a number on our health. So, what can we do to be healthier? So, these are really the 6 main areas I want to focus on today: exercise, sleep, managing our stress, drinking water, using safer products, and eating real food. And I really do feel like these are the core pillars of health. There are lots of things we can do. It seems like it might be a lot, but if you adopt, one simple change at a time, you really can make lasting habits that will really improve your health overall. So, exercise, a lack of physical activity is one of the leading causes of preventable death worldwide. So, you've heard of the term couch potato. I think the pandemic has made it even worse. People aren't going into the office, they're sitting behind their desk a lot or their laptop, and they're not really getting up and moving every 20 to 30 minutes like people should. And just the screen, being attended to by a screen all day long can really affect you in every area. So it can lead to cardiovascular disease, anxiety. The mortality in elderly men increases by 30%, and the risk is doubled in elderly women. You can have deep vein thrombosis, depression, diabetes, colon cancer, high blood pressure, obesity, osteoporosis, lipid disorders, kidney stones. The list goes on and on. So it's really important to get up and move. There's so many benefits for exercise. Um, can reduce body fat, lower blood pressure. Um, I'm not going to read this whole list, but it can really help improve your immune function. And we know the last few years that's been a hot topic. People who don't have a strong immune system are more likely to get illnesses and viruses. It can reduce your diabetes risk, strengthen your heart, boost your mood, um, detoxify your body. It's really important that our body detoxifies from all these harmful chemicals and poor food quality. So there are lots of benefits to exercise. There's simple things you can do. These were just some things a lot of people chose to do during the pandemic because it was easy. A lot of the health clubs were closed, so you could run, cycle, you can take a brisk walk, you can skip. These are things that you could just very easily do on your own. Um, you should really try to get 30 minutes of exercise in 5 or more days each week. Um, some people don't even do one day. So it's really important to try to get at least 30 minutes in. If you're in front of your laptop all the time, it's really critical that you take a break. So that 30-minute break doing some type of exercise will really help improve your mood and improve your concentration, your focus, your productivity, and your health. And you can do non-traditional forms of exercise as well. You can do yoga. Yoga is a really great form of exercise. People think it's more for you know, like mind wellness, and that is one of the benefits, but it's also a great form of regular exercise as well. So consider yoga as one of, a great form of exercise if you have trouble doing other forms of exercise. And then there are other things you can do. Gardening is a great form of exercise, ballroom dancing, jumping rope, hiking, swimming, bicycling, tennis, any type of sports activity are great forms of exercise. The next thing I want to talk about is sleep. And a lot of people say sleep is overrated. Sleep is definitely not overrated. The benefits of sleep are critical. It keeps your heart healthy, can help prevent cancer, reduces your stress, reduces inflammation, which I'll talk about a little later. Inflammation is really a silent killer for a lot of different reasons. It makes you more alert. It helps bolster your memory, helps you lose weight, makes you smarter because you can think better, may reduce your risk for depression, and it really helps your body make important repairs. So when you're sleeping at night, your body's hard at work repairing your cells and repairing the damage that happened during the day. So how much sleep do we get? A lot of people ask this question. Most of us are in the age category of needing 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And that's good sleep, where you're not waking up at night, because when you wake up at night and your sleep is affected, you're not really getting good enough sleep or quality sleep. So, when you're very young, you need a lot more sleep. As you age, you need a little less, but really people should strive for about 8 hours of good quality sleep a night. If you sleep too much or too little, that can also have adverse effects on your health. So sleeping more than 9 hours isn't good for you. Sleeping less than 7 isn't good for you. And if you sleep less than 5 hours per night, it can double your risk of heart disease or heart attack or stroke. And then there's a relationship between lack of sleep and weight gain, insulin resistance, and diabetes. So sleep is really critical. So getting sleep is important, but how to wake up in the morning is also important. So try not to hit that snooze button because it can really make you feel more groggy and less refreshed, even though people are like, oh, I have 10 more minutes of sleep. Having that interrupted sleep and then going back to sleep really doesn't help you. Open your curtains when you wake up. The natural sun will help you wake up better. Be positive in the morning. What do you want to achieve today? You're going to have a great day. That really helps boost your mood too. And then have a good breakfast. It improves your mood, your memory, your concentration. So don't skip that really important meal. They call it breakfast for a reason. You're breaking your fast. It's the longest time you go before eating, between eating. So you really need to have a good breakfast. And try to do, just any little type of morning exercise is great. Walking up and down your stairs, going for a short walk, even going for a bike ride. It gets your heart rate up, your blood flowing, and it can improve your mood. The next thing I want to talk about is stress. And I think the pandemic really did a number on people's stress. So a lot of people don't even know they are stressed. But if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, you're stressed. If you grind your teeth, you have tense muscles, skin irritations. If you're tired all the time, have stomach problems, angry or anxious, headaches, you have trouble concentrating, or you just have a lack of caring, these could be symptoms that you are under stress. And it affects not just your body, but your mind, your emotions, your behavior. So there's so many areas of your whole well-being that are affected by stress. So we really need to try to find ways to de-stress. Stress causes lots of issues: asthma, cancer, depression, heart disease, stomach ulcers, eczema, colds, flus. So any type of stress, if you let it get to the point of chronic stress, can cause a lot of different health issues. So there's many, many different ways you can manage your stress. Go to a spa. Exercise is a great stress reliever. Find a hobby. Yoga. Get out in nature. Nature is wonderful for relieving stress. Music. Manage your time. If you aren't managing your time, it causes a lot of stress. So keeping a journal or a notebook or something to have your time managed can really help relieve stress. And meditation or mindfulness is wonderful. I got trained in mindfulness, and it's made a huge difference in helping to calm your mind and giving you the ability to make better decisions when you are under stress. So any type of mindfulness or meditation are wonderful stress relievers and ways to help manage your stress. The next one is drinking enough water. So these things happen if you're not drinking enough water. You might have sugar cravings. You might be feeling thirsty. Your urine could be dark or yellow. You really want clear urine, and that shows that you are drinking enough. You could feel dizzy, have bad breath, poor concentration. Your skin could become dry. So these are ways you know that you're not drinking enough. Water has so many benefits. 75% of your brain is water. It regulates your body temperature. That's why we really want to be around 98, so our body doesn't get too hot or too cold. Makes up 83% of our blood. It helps us remove waste. 22% of your bones. It helps cushion your joints. So if you have joint issues, you're not drinking enough water, it really helps cushion your joints, helps carry nutrients and oxygen to your cells. It moistens the oxygen to help you breathe better. It converts food to energy, protects your vital organs, helps your body absorb nutrients. So it's not enough to eat. You have to make sure your body is actually absorbing the nutrition, because that's how you stay healthy in your body. And it makes up 75% of your muscles. A lot of people wonder how much water is important, and it really depends on your weight. So a lot of us should be drinking at least 8-ounce glasses of water every single day. And if you're exercising a lot, you need to drink more because you lose a lot of water through sweat. If it's really hot out, you need to drink more. Anytime your water needs to be replenished through sweat or heavy activity, you should be drinking more than 8 glasses of water. So it really depends on your weight and your activity level and the temperature. And I like to drink water more room temperature. If you drink really cold water, like really, like ice water, it takes your body more energy to try to cool that water down because our body temperature is 98. So I like to drink water room temperature because my body doesn't have to work as hard to cool that water down when I drink it. And if you don't like plain water, there are lots of things you can do. You can sweeten it with lemon. Um, you can put cucumber. There's a lot of different things you can put in water that are actually beneficial for you. I drink lemon water every day with some apple cider vinegar, and it really helps to make my body a little more alkaline and not so acidic. So another thing we can do is use fewer toxic household products. So many things we're using, we don't even realize how harmful they are for us. They're harmful for every single organ in our body. So there's so many chemicals in the common cleaning products that we use. There's parabens and lead and triclosan and there's just BPA, BPS. There's so many different toxic chemicals that I honestly can't understand why they're allowed in this country because they're really doing so much damage to people and who people are just unaware. They think, oh, it's sold in the stores, it must be okay. And it's really not. So some of the biggest offenders, air fresheners should be banned. Air fresheners are the one of the worst, most highly toxic things you can use. Um, Laundry detergent, cleaning products, plastic containers. Plastic has gotten better over the years, but what little plastic I have, I wash by hand. I never put it in the dishwasher. I never put it in the microwave. We've switched over to glass or stainless steel. We typically don't use plastic at all. I don't use conventional makeup. Most nonstick cookware is awful for you because of what they put on the pans to make it nonstick. Scented candles are bad. Baking with aluminum foil is really bad because it can leach into your food. The metals can leach into your food. And scented lotions. These are just some common ones that are awful. So things you can do instead. You can make your own soap and cleaning products. I use Dr. Bronner's or, just some base soap and just put essential oils in it or something, or put lemon. You can use vinegar. You can find safer, cleaner alternatives from trusted companies that that sell makeup and beauty care products and healthcare products. You can use essential oils to purify your air, for medicines, for stress relief. That should say, etc. There are a lot of different things you can do instead of using the toxic products. I threw out all my medicines. I don't use traditional medicines anymore. I use food for medicines, or just safer products. There's a lot we can do. The last thing I want to focus on is fruits and vegetables. So we really need to clean up our diet. Experts agree that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. And that is a high statistic. Up to 90% of chronic illness can be prevented with good nutrition. That's crazy. There's some that are hereditary that you might not be able to do anything about. They're genetic, but 90%, that's a huge number that can be bettered through better nutrition. We need to eat a lot more servings than we're used to. So we actually need to eat 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Really hard to do that. Athletes need to eat even more. And athletes, even though it's really good to exercise, something as simple as breathing causes oxidative stress to your body. And I'll go into a little more detail about what oxidative stress is. Athletes need to eat more. Pregnant women need to eat more. People suffering with a chronic illness need to eat more. And we need to eat so many because, like I mentioned before, we're picking our produce way too early before it's had a chance to ripen. So For example, you need to eat 54 cups of broccoli to get the same amount of iron that 1 cup of broccoli gave you in the 50s. So it's just really um, amazing how poor our food quality has become. Not only do Americans not get enough servings, we're not eating variety, and variety is key. We need every color of the rainbow that targets certain organs in your body in order to have optimum health. And people like their favorites. They say, I eat an apple a day, or I eat an orange, or I have some broccoli, but they're really not getting variety in every color. So our standard American diet has been coined as SAD because it really is sad. 62% of our diet comes from processed foods, oils, sweets, refined grains. That's a staggering number for percentage. Only 10% come from plants, and only 2.5% come from whole grains. So we really need to turn that around. So the picture on the right is really how we should be eating more. We should have tons and tons of fruits and vegetables, clean sources of protein, healthy grains, herbs, spices, healthy oils. Um, I don't cook with olive oil because it doesn't have a very high smoke point, but I'll put olive oil on my salad. I cook with avocado oil if I use oil at all because that has a higher smoke point. So you really need to be careful with the oils that you choose and really learn the difference between what's good for heating and what's good just for helping to absorb nutrients. I've kind of adopted the Mediterranean diet. They really support physical activity, meal and family time. People in the Mediterranean are very healthy. They eat a lot of whole grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, healthy fats. Fat isn't necessarily bad for you as long as you're choosing the right fat, like avocado oil, coconut oil. Those are really healthy fats that are good for you. Lots of herbs and spices. You really want omega-3 foods at least 3 times a week because omegas are critical for your brain health, your gut health. Poultry, eggs, and dairy, okay to have 1 to 2 times a week. And then red meat and sweets, very little. Unfortunately, our diet is upside down. We eat a lot of red meat, a lot of sweets. We don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. So I don't really like to call it a diet because diets don't really work well. I just like to call it a lifestyle change. So trying to just, put more of these good foods in your body every day and less of the bad foods can really help to make a difference. And just, make one swap at a time. Don't try to do it all at once or you may fail. But just little by little, just try to increase the amount of fruits and vegetables you're eating. And that really helps to crowd out the things that aren't good for you. When we talk about food as being medicine, I just think it's so impressive how lots of the foods we eat um, mimic the parts of our body that they're good for. So carrots look just like our eyes. Tomatoes are good for our heart. Walnuts for our brain. Ginger for our stomach. Kidney beans for our kidneys. Sweet potatoes for the pancreas. Avocados the uterus. Citrus for the breast. And it's so interesting that the food was put on our planet for a reason. And it really does target the organs in our body. So it's really important to eat a variety and all different foods that will help certain organs. Um, I talked a little bit about this before, but many of us age quickly and get disease because of oxidative stress. And oxidative stress happens from the environment, from the poor food that we're eating. And the people who have a lot of oxidative stress aren't getting enough antioxidants. And we get antioxidants from fruits and vegetables. Not to get too scientific, but oxidative stress leads to chronic inflammation. And when we have oxidative stress, our body creates free radicals. And free radicals are cells that don't have an equal amount of electrons. So they go around to healthy cells and try to steal an electron from them. But fruits and vegetables have electrons to spare. So when you eat fruits and vegetables, they say to the free radicals, here, take my electron, leave the healthy cells alone, take my electron, and be on your way. So, that will make you more stable so you're not going around damaging the healthy cells in your body. So that's, one of the main reasons why fruits and vegetables are so important is because they have so many antioxidants that help protect our cells from that oxidative stress that we're dealing with every single day. Some inflammation is good. And, many of us experience acute inflammation at short term. We could have an allergic reaction, inflammation from chemicals, infection, burns, cuts, wounds, frostbite. And it's okay. Our body does need some inflammation because it sends messages to our body to go to send the proper ways to help deal with that inflammation. So it'll send little messages to the inflammation fighters that say something's going on in the body, go take care of it. So some inflammation is good, but when it leads to chronic inflammation, if you don't deal with the acute inflammation, it can lead to cardiovascular disease, neurological disease, autoimmune, cancer, arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, allergies, eye disorders, diabetes, colitis, and Crohn's. There's just so many things that happen when your body is just overrun with inflammation. And that, like I said, that inflammation is caused from all the toxicity that our body is exposed to every day, whether it's from our environment or our food. So we really need to eat the right foods to help fight this inflammation in our bodies. Some of us have chronic inflammation and we don't know it, but if you have chronic pain or low energy, if you're getting a lot of headaches, if you have allergies, high blood pressure, brain fog, all of these are symptoms of chronic inflammation. So it's really important to try to bring that inflammation down. So that's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you, they could save your life. This was in Time magazine 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, people were realizing the importance of fruits and vegetables, but we haven't really come as far as we should. Knowing that information, you would think that more companies would try to produce better products for us, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. The pharmaceutical corporations are huge, politicians are pushing for things that make them money. And, unfortunately, healthier options don't make them as much money. So we really need to try to fight back and try to spread the word that more holistic ways of living are really what's going to keep us healthier and happier in the long run. Only 1 in 10 adults eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. That's pretty sad. So because of that, a lot of Americans are trying to fill their gaps with a multivitamin. And the problem with that is a multivitamin only has a few isolated nutrients. So if you take out the vitamin C from an orange and put it into a vitamin bottle, your body has no idea what to do with that. It actually needs the whole orange in order to absorb the nutrition from that orange. And a lot of people don't know 80% of the vitamin C is in the orange peel. And I don't know many people who eat an orange peel. So when you eat an orange, you're throwing away 80% of that nutrition when you throw that peel away. So it's really important to eat a lot of plant nutrition. An apple has 10,000 phytonutrients that we know of, and we know it has more that we haven't even identified yet. So those phytonutrients are working in synergy to actually do good in your body. So vitamins can be really harmful. They could be filled with things that aren't good for us, and they don't absorb. You really want what you're eating to absorb into your body. Um, Most people pee vitamins out. Doctors call it expensive pee because it's really not doing anything for you. So I just want to tell my own personal story because I think some people can relate to this. This was me at 48 years old. I got awful migraines. I had terrible allergies. In fact, I wanted to go to the doctor to get shots because I hated taking medication for them. I had reflux. My vision was getting blurry. I had very deep pockets in my teeth, which was very concerning. And once I went through menopause, I gained weight and I was having a lot of trouble keeping it off. So, this is what traditional treatments were. And this is what I went to. I took Zyrtec D every day, hated the way it made me feel. For my reflux, I had to take pantoprazole because if I ate certain foods, I would get sick. I was on migraine maintenance medication, danger of needing glasses. My gum disease was getting worse. And, like I said, diets don't work because if you limit what you can eat, you tend to crave it more. So dieting, always sets you up to fail. So two things I did to help improve my nutrition, and these are just some things that I did. There's a lot of things you can do, but I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which is the world's largest nutrition school. I was tired of being sick all the time and being on a lot of medications, and I really was looking for um, some answers that I wasn't getting just from the main community. So the Institute of Integrative Nutrition was a great program because it not only talked about food, but it talked about your well-being, as far as your relationships and your career and your exercise and your stress management strategies. So it really worked on the whole person. Um, so this is a great program. If anyone, wants information about it, I'm happy to give it. But there are a lot of great schools out there. This is just the one that I chose to attend. And then I also decided to let food be my medicine. And this is Hippocrates, a philosopher from years and years and years ago. Um, he was saying this from the very beginning: let food be your medicine, let medicine be your food. So, food is great not only for your physical body, but it helps improve your mood. When you are under a lot of stress, the stress hormones, cortisol gets increased, and that really leads to chronic stress. But if you eat the right amount of foods, the certain foods that help increase your dopamine and your feel good hormones, it really does help improve you, not just in mind, not just in your body, but in your mind as well. There's so many plant-based medicines you can use instead of traditional medicines. Grapes help lower blood pressure. Turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory. So we really want to decrease that inflammation in our body. Dandelions help strengthen the bones and the liver. Lemons are anti-diabetic. Cilantro is anti-anxiety and antifungal. Watercress helps your respiratory tract. Garlic is the best antibiotic. Um, I really think that's what's helping my mom because she eats a lot of garlic. She doesn't have the best diet. We're working on that. Cucumbers help lower blood pressure. Ginger helps with morning sickness and cramps. And beets help with the lymphatic stimulation and anemia. It's an anemia remedy. So these are lots of good whole foods you can use instead of traditional medicines. Um, so the other thing I did was for me, I just found it really helpful to find a whole food product that helped bridge the gap between what I was eating on the left, way too much of, and what I should have been eating on the right. So for me, I just found something that helped be a catalyst to improving my health in so many areas. So there is something to be said for taking food. So instead of taking traditional medicines, think of this as your medicine, fruits and vegetables. The other thing I did was I purchased a tower garden. because I am awful at growing. I have a black thumb. I just look at plants and they die. So I purchased a tower garden because it's very easy. It uses less water and less space, and it's much more nutritious. This is my tower garden. I can grow year round. Indoors, I use grow lights, um, and it's very easy. Everything's on a timer. And then outdoor, the picture on the left is taking the grow lights off and just putting it on my porch outside. And you can grow so many wonderful things. I grow tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers. I make tomato sauce, basil. I grow lots of greens during the winter for my smoothies. I can grow spinach and kale and lettuce and chard and basil and lots of spices. It's just, people who feel like they're not getting a lot of good quality and want to grow their own food, this is a great option. Um, I've even grown string beans, I've grown strawberries. So it really is a great alternative. So this is a program that I like to do, and I really like to live the shred. I like to do it, as every day if possible. So I don't eat a lot of dairy because dairy is highly inflammatory. So we really should limit the amount of dairy that we're consuming. Gluten does a number on our system. So many people have celiac disease and digestive problems because of gluten. So I really try to limit dairy and gluten. I don't have a lot of caffeine or alcohol because that, can help lead to inflammation. Processed food, I try to have very sparingly. Sugar, I really don't eat a lot of. An interesting fact about sugar is it's just as bad as cocaine and heroin. It works on your brain the same exact way, and it's highly addictive, and it just causes so much damage. So I try not to eat a lot of refined sugar. I like to eat my last meal around 6. You really should not eat 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed because I think I mentioned before that our body's working on repairing. So you don't really want your body to work on digestion when it could be working on repairing your cells from the damage. We should try to exercise as many days as we can, drink a lot of water, and just really eat more food, eat more plant food. So I'm happy to say that today at 57 years old, I no longer take Zyrtec D. My allergies are gone. My reflux is gone. I haven't had a migraine in, I think, 7 or 8 years. My vision has actually gotten better, and I think it's mainly from the plant omegas I take. Um, Traditional omegas are awful for you. The fish can be tainted with mercury. It's not sustainable, and fish only get omegas from the algae they eat. So you should really try to find a high quality omega. I don't need glasses anymore. My deep pockets are gone, so my dental health is better. I lost 25 pounds, so I have a much healthier weight. I actually do feel better today in my 50s than I did in my 20s. Um, so it really is important. The only other thing I take is a vitamin D, but I make sure it's with potassium because that's what helps the vitamin D absorb. So I take a vitamin D2 K3 every day instead of just a traditional vitamin D. So whatever you decide to purchase, make sure it's very high quality because harmful toxins are hiding everywhere. So if you have any questions, here's my contact info. We do have a free resource called healthylivingrevolution.com. And that resource has e-cookbooks, lots of wonderful vegan recipes, vegetarian recipes. It has a fitness series for kids, tips to drink more water, and just a lot of great resources and information. And I am going to stop sharing and see if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Mary. It was so
You're
much
welcome.
information. Yes.
I know, a lot of
Wonderful.
information, but
Wonderful.
a lot of things to think about.
Yes.
And like I said, not things to do all at once, just a
Absolutely.
little bit at a time to help
Yes.
improve your health.
One step at a time.
Exactly. I like to call it one simple change.
Yes, yes. Aptly titled. So just to kickstart, if anybody has questions, I'll also ask one. Do you have any particular plant-based, omega-based, product? And what's your vitamin D that you recommend with the cake? And you can put
So
in the
I
chat
take,
also, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So the omega that I take is a Juice Plus Omega. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I take that is because all of their products have National Safety Foundation certification.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you buy something, whether it's cookware or products, you should look for that NSF certification because it's probably the most strict certification anywhere. They do unannounced visits, they test and retest and make sure the products are adhering to very strict guidelines. And the reason I take that omega is because it's not made with fish. It's made with all plants. It's made with
Right.
algae and sea buckthorn and tomato seed and all different wonderful plants. And they cold press the seeds because when you use heat, it degrades the oils. So a lot of traditional omegas that people take, not only are they made with fish, but they use heat. So the oils are degraded before you even take it. So it could be really not safe. And then they also came up with this 2-piece vegan capsule so they don't have to use heat to encapsulate it. And they put a nitrogen bubble in because oxygen degrades oils as well. So they really came up with the safest omega on the planet. And it really has shown to increase the omega-3 index in your body in half the time with half the dose as traditional omegas. So the omegas are awesome. I love those.
One second, Mary. What is the National Safety Organization you said?
It's called NSF, and it stands for, I think it's National Safety Foundation or something like that. I forget what
It
the F
doesn't come
stands
up
for.
when I Google. It doesn't come up.
NSF.
Mm.
So the
You'll
letter
see it.
N.
Yeah, you'll see it on a lot of different labels. It'll say NSF approved when it
But when
comes
you
to.
Google National Safety Foundation, it doesn't come up.
So I'm gonna say I might have the wrong acronym. I mean what it means. So NSF. Just look up NSF.
Let me see.
Yeah, NSF is coming. What is the full form of NSF?
I'm sorry, what?
The full form, because when I type National Safety Foundation, it doesn't come up, but there is something called NSF. But if the full form is not there, maybe
I'm
they're.
sorry, it's National Sanitation Foundation.
Aha, okay. Thank you.
That's what it stands for. I knew it had to do with safety. National Sanitation Foundation.
Thank you, thank
So
you.
you're welcome. And then the omegas I take are the Juice Plus omegas.
Yeah.
And I think I have to look, but I think the vitamin D2 K3, I think it came from Thorn.
Mhm.
I can check right now because I just got some.
Okay.
So let's see. This is from Sports Research Vitamin D3 K2. It's not telling me. Maybe
In
it
the
wasn't
meanwhile,
Thorn.
any other
Yeah,
questions?
maybe
We are
it
almost
wasn't
at the
Thorn.
hour.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, no, that's D3 and not D2. You had said D2, but it's D3 and
Oh,
K2.
sorry. It's
Oh, that's
D3 K2. I mixed up the
correct.
numbers. So
Right.
it's
And
D3.
right.
Yeah.
Because there is a D2, but D3 is the better form.
Can you put it in the chat so that we can What is the
Yeah, it's
D3K2
D3
combo.
K2?
Mm-hmm.
And
D3,
D3,
K2.
D is
So,
also really good to take with a fatty, something fatty, because it's a fat soluble.
fat
Right.
soluble, yes. And sometimes it's a D2 that is deficient, it's not D3. That's also I've seen in my clients. If you get tested, make sure to ask is it D3 or D2 so that you can take the proper one.
That's
Right.
good.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Yep.
Yes.
Good to know. Yeah. Yeah, I learned just so much, like just from being in communities like this. If I happen to mention, oh, I'm taking a vitamin D. Oh, which one are you taking? Oh, do you know you really need to take that with potassium? So it's helpful to surround yourself in communities that really value holistic health, so then
Yeah.
you can get the expertise from people in different fields.
Yeah. I don't go for multivitamins because I feel you can buy good food in that amount, and that's much better
Right.
than vitamin tablets. But D
Right.
and omega, I feel are genuine deficiencies in the population because of the
Right.
way
Right.
food industry is geared right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I take the whole food capsules, the omegas, and then I also, once in a while, like our biochemist recommended taking zinc and magnesium. So I try to find a high quality, I think I do Mary Ruth zinc. Just try to take like a teaspoon or tablespoon of magnesium every so often and some squirts of liquid zinc, and then I just try to, eat some foods that are rich in those vitamins as well. But
Yeah.
it's really hard because you have to eat so many, so many different
It seems
fruits and
almost
vegetables.
impossible.
It does. So that, you try to do what you can to make sure you're getting the proper nutrition. And it really does help. It's amazing how much helpful it is to improve your mood and your focus. And all food affects you in so many ways, negatively or positively. So you really need to choose the right activities and the right food and the right exercise. It all goes together.
And one of the things too is a key point is that you'll get more nutrients from the food if as long as you cook it properly. You don't just boil it all away.
Right.
But supplements a lot of times, especially if they're synthetic supplements, vitamins, they're not of a whole food, and your body doesn't recognize them as well.
Right.
There are a lot of herbs
Exactly.
that your body recognizes much better than some of the synthetic vitamins. But
Oh,
they
yeah.
do have anytime it's a whole food supplement, if you're deficient in something, it's always it's a better source than a synthetic form. But food sources
Exactly.
are actually the best way to get your nutrients.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And whole raw foods, raw fruits and vegetables. People aren't eating enough raw fruits and vegetables. Like
And
you
that,
said, they're cooking away the nutrition.
yeah, that can depend too on someone's digestion, because some
Right.
people have a harder time to digest certain foods, but the
Right. Yep.
basic information is very, very good information you had to share here. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed a lot of it. It was very, very
Yeah.
informative and very good piece of information to share with people.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
for
appreciate
joining.
that.
I
Yeah.
like the slide which the vegetable with the body part, but the organ, that's
Yeah.
a good one to see the visual.
Yeah.
So
You want
very
me to share
helpful.
that slide? I can share it in
That's
the email.
okay. It's in the yeah.
In
Thank you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Isn't that
Actually,
cool?
you can send me the slide deck if you're comfortable. Then I can share with
Sure. Yeah.
anybody who will ask for it later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining another wonderful community talk. And we'll be back with another one in April and so on
Okay.
and so forth. Yes. Thank you, Mary, for taking out time to
Yes,
share
thank you,
some
You're
Mary.
really
welcome.
helpful, wonderful information. I will stop
Thank you.
recording at this time.